You know, I've been wondering for a while now if the Rainbooms know music theory or they're just magically good at music. So let's take a minute to find out. Hello everybody, my name is Leary Semibrieve, and I want to know if the Rainbooms know music theory or not. But before that, what is music theory? Music theory, according to Google, is the study of the principles, elements, and structures that govern... I'm just gonna shorten this. It's basically what makes music sound good. That's a very broad way of putting it, and it doesn't properly do it justice, but I'm not gonna go into a deep dive about music theory here. I'd like to now introduce you to this. It's a tier list. You've probably seen a lot of them over the internet. They are a very good way to convey thoughts. We have 5 tiers here. Music has a theory, knows the basics, intermediate, advanced, and music theory nerd. And we have 7 whole characters to get through, so let's get started. First up, we have Rarity. She plays the guitar, and I don't think she's a beginner. She definitely took piano lessons at some point, and I think she knows at least some theory. And I think she belongs around the intermediate tier. There's a few clues I'd like to point out. Mainly the way she talks. Expressing full musicality. That just sounds like a classical musician to me. Also, she has a whole grand piano just lying around. And I'm sorry, could we just take a moment to appreciate how strong Rarity is? She pushed that thing all the way to the high school. Even if she lived next door, that'd still be a tremendous task. Rarity is going in intermediate. Next up we have Fluttershy. Now I'd like to be entirely honest here, I don't think a tambourine really fits with the band. I may be a tiny bit biased here since I own like 4 of them, but I think a ukulele would have fit so much better. The tambourine is not at all a complicated instrument. A tambourine player can correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I've been able to gather, none of Fluttershy's pieces are too difficult. I'd like to clarify that I don't think Fluttershy is a bad musician by any means. I also don't think knowing theory makes someone a good musician either, but I personally think Fluttershy just happened to get a tambourine for her birthday one day, and then just played it every now and then for fun. I'm putting Fluttershy in Music Has a Theory. Next up, we have Rainbow Dash. Now there's a stereotype that guitarists don't know theory, and as someone who plays and knows quite a few guitarists, I'd like to say, this stereotype is 100% accurate. I honestly don't know why either. This is a guitar-specific thing. I've never seen this with any other instrument. With Rainbow Dash, this stereotype definitely tracks. I cannot see her sitting there trying to learn theory for more than 5 minutes. I think she just learned some basic chords and called it a day. She reminds me of my dad actually, a guitarist who's been playing for 15 years longer than I've been alive, and yet knows very little theory. I'm putting Rainbow Dash in knows the basics. She knows chords, but I don't see her knowledge going much further than that. Now we have Pinkie Pie. Oh boy, she's going straight in advance, and I'll tell you why. She plays drums and ukulele. Plus, if you want to take into account this, she plays at the bare minimum 10 instruments. She plays them all well. She's literally Aaron Paulson. You know, I kind of said that as a joke, but the more I think about it, the more I realize it's kind of accurate. So, Pinkie Pie going in advanced. I don't think she knows every little thing about theory, which is why she's not going any higher, but she's definitely at a higher level than most. Applejack, bass, huzzah, another instrument I am very familiar with. The bass lines on the Rainboom songs don't seem to be anything too complicated, although similarly with Rainbow Dash, I can't see Applejack just sitting there and learning theory. However, I can see her listening to someone more advanced teaching her about rhythm and progressions, and to be honest, that's really all you need for bass. I'm throwing Applejack in the intermediate tier, but below Rarity. I think that's fair. Now, Twilight Sparkle. Before I start talking, I'm counting Sidetwi and Twilight as one person here. They have similar experiences, and my general line of thinking applies for both of them. They will be ranked individually on screen though. I think Twilight Sparkle is a full-on music theory nerd, mainly because she's a nerd about pretty much everything. I can 100% see her studying music theory just to learn and understand it. Not to mention, we see Twi play a piano at one point. Also, according to Google, she apparently handles all the post-production on the Rainboom songs. But granted, that same search also said she plays guitar, so I'm not sure if I buy it, but you can tell me. Twilight and Twi are going in music theory nerd. Moving on. Sunset Shimmer is an odd case. On one hand, she's a guitarist, but I don't think she follows the guitar player stereotype. I personally think she has a very similar story to Twilight. The two studied with Celestia, and I'd imagine Celestia taught her a little bit of music while she was there. I'm putting her in the advanced tier since I think at one point she went down the theory rabbit hole, but didn't go quite as deep as Twilight did. Alrighty, bonus round, Vinyl Scratch. She's a DJ that provides a sound system for the final battle in Rainbow Rocks. I'm talking about her here because I think she handles the production on the Rainboom songs post Rainbow Rocks. I also think she produced all of the Dazzling songs, which I have a whole other video on. I'm throwing Vinyl Scratch in music theory nerd because music is literally her entire thing. Alright, well that's the video. Not really sure how to end this, so here's a little snippet of something fun that I've been working on. That's all you get. More on that later. Goodbye, every pony!